Hello crafty friend, I hope you're doing so well today. I'm going to do a little demo about how to stitch on this snowflake, and then I will assemble this card, and then I will show you one more card that I made with this gorgeous die, stitching die from Spellbinders. Now this one is the stitched die of the month for July. It is just a stunning one. First of all, we have this back plate, and that creates this blue look. You can see here. It really is just a punching, like a punch and pierce almost, with these little areas here, and then it cuts out an A2 sized frame. Then the actual snowflake itself looks like this. Looks like I need to kind of get some paper out of my die here. But this die cuts out the snowflake, and then it also has these little rounded triangles that go in these areas. So that makes the snowflake. Then with this main stitching die, you can also have this little piece. This is perfect for adding on to the center of the snowflake. Let's see, I have one that I stitched here somewhere. There it is. It's just really dainty, small, and cute. And it can go in the center of the snowflake. I'll show you here. Can go like that. Or you can choose to have a sentiment, which is where the add-on comes into play. So the add-on for this month is Small But Mighty. It has two different shapes. There's the hexagon shape that has the words joy or for you. And then there's a banner that has the words peace or Noel. So you can choose what you want in there. I chose to use the hexagon on my snowflake with the word joy. You could put the banner going across like this, or down on the corner, up on the corner, really anywhere you want. I just chose to have mine go in the center just because I think it looks gorgeous in the center. So I'm just going to clean up my dies quickly with my Spellbinders magnet and get going. Look at that. I just think that is so satisfying. For the snowflake, I will just give a basic tutorial of how I'm going to stitch on this snowflake. If you're looking for more tips and tricks regarding stitching on paper and stitching on cards, please check out the playlist I have on my channel called Stitching on Cards. It has almost 50 videos, I think, so I hope that at least one of them will inspire you to create something really fun and have a good time stitching. For stitching, I always use 3 strands, and I like to tuck the tail in the back. So today, just because I am working quickly and this die doesn't have a whole lot of space on the back to hide a tail, I'm going just to use some craft tape because that is really simple and easy. You can use Scotch tape, washi tape, anything at all, but basically you just want your tail on the back of the snowflake. However you get there is up to you. You could also just hold it, but I know that tape isn't going to go anywhere, so that is just fine with me. Okay, now I've been trying to figure out the whole filming situation, so I have 2 camera angles going. So for this part, I'm just going to kind of go up a little higher so you can see. But this is different than most stitching dies, because usually you go up the center, you go up and down, but this is more of a long stitch kind of die. So I'm still going to be mindful of where my string is, but it really is simple once you kind of get the hang of it. I'm going to start with my needle going up the base of the arm of the snowflake, just because that's where my string is going to go. If I started over here, it would create a weird line. You can kind of see it would look like that with the string going here. Or if I started on this one, it would be in that negative space, and I want to hide the string as much as possible. So I'm going to go up right through here and pull. Now I wish I was using DMC thread, but I liked this color, so I pulled a non-DMC thread, but really it's superior, it's silkier, but I don't know. Let's just hope and pray for no knots. Next, I'm going to go in this side part and just pull slowly, because this tends to get caught on the other arms, and if you pull hard, it can bend. So I just recommend you go kind of delicate with this one. Now my string is over here. I'm going to go back through the center again, gently. And I just talked about knots, and of course we're going to get one. Oh, that's an ugly one. Ay. Let's try to get it out. With knots, I try to use my needle and just kind of pull and see what happens. But if the knot's really obnoxious, I will just cut and start over, which is what I think I'm going to do. So just bear with me. Some people are probably way more patient than I and would have sat there and taken the knot out, but I'm just not interested in that, and I just don't really want to spend my crafting time taking out a knot. So there's that. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. So I'm just gonna try to go nice and slow, and hopefully there won't be any more knots. Okay, I'm back to where I was. Now I'm just gonna go through the same process and just go all the way up the arm of the snowflake. I don't know what else to call it, so I'm calling it the arm. I know snowflakes don't have arms. Anyway, now I'm here. Now to get my thread back to where I need it to be, I need to go back to that middle hole. So I'm gonna go back, and then I'm gonna go up. So I'm gonna go one over and go down like that. And then I'm going to go to the bottom one, just because I'm someone who kind of does things however my brain's telling me, and that's the way my brain told me to go. Now my thread's on the back, so I can go to this next hole right here and just go all the way up the arm. It's really easy for the thread to get caught on the spokes of the snowflake, but if you are delicate, it's really not a big deal. Now I went up to the next hole, but to make sure that there's thread in between here, I need to go back down where I was. And then I'm going to go back to that center hole again. And down on this one. Back to the center. And just repeat the process. If you have any stitching questions, let me know in the comments. I'd love to help you out. Otherwise, check out that playlist. Like I said before, I do go over like everything that I ever have thought about or learned from stitching. So there's that for you. I think that this die would be gorgeous to make a little hanging decoration. So I'm going to try to describe it without showing you what it is, because I haven't made one yet, but I really want to. But I think it would be gorgeous if you stitched a snowflake like this and then put on another piece, like another snowflake on top that would kind of cover up the back parts of your stitching, and then had that simply hang like this as a window catcher or something like that. I think that would be really pretty and cheerful. Maybe it's just kind of in my head at this moment, but I think that would look cute. Okay, now I went through the bottom circle, the bottom hole of this circle on the top, and I need to backstitch one more time just to make the line like that. And then I'm going to bring my thread not to this first hole, but to the top hole, just because I don't want my thread to look like it's coming from that direction. And that's just something weird that in my brain that makes sense to do, but you really could go from the bottom. It's just kind of up to you. Okay, then I'm going to go I'm going to go clockwise around. Does it have to be clockwise? No. But again, that's the way my brain is going to tell me how to do it. So there you have it. And I did the exact same thing on every other arm of the snowflake Only the top and bottom pieces have this little hashed circle area, so that's that. Now to end it, I could take craft tape or I could backstitch, but I'm going to show you another way that I like to end if the die is intricate, like this one, and I'm going to use liquid glue. I know, crazy, right? But this definitely works because the glue grabs the thread and it is stuck. And it is stuck, it's not going anywhere, and it's going to go glued onto my project pretty soon anyway. So there you have it. A new stitching tip for you. All right. To add my snowflake on my card, I was kind of thinking about using these foam strips. Now, I do not remember where in the world these came from. I think just my craft store, but I don't know the brand of them either. But if I can find similar ones on scrapbook.com, I will. No promises though. I don't know. Either way, I'm sure you can find some foam, or you can just cut your foam into strips. And this is going to just give my snowflake a little bit of dimension and interest. Luckily, that was the perfect length. I don't know how in the world that worked out, but it did. So I'll just attach foam to the back and show you what that looks like afterwards. Now that all of my foam is on my snowflake, it's ready to go on the card base. So I'll just pick it up so I can make sure it's nice and centered, and then press lightly down. And I just love the way that the light works with this die. It definitely creates a shadow because of that foam. So that is just stunning. I love it. Okay, now to finish off the card, I thought I'd add some gold embellishments because I wanted it to kind of coordinate with that joy embellishment. So these are from Amazon. They were technically for nail art. And if you've watched a few of my videos, you know that sometimes I pull things like this out that are a little bit random and wacky, but they work, so I'm using them. I'm going to pull out, these are tiny gold stars, which they're giving me patriotic vibes. I don't know if that's just because it's kind of the 4th of July time here in America, but I don't know. I'm going to put one on all of the tips of the snowflake just to give it a little bit of a shine. And I'll just use my gem picker to pick those up. Nothing fancy, but super fancy at the same time. Oh, I just love these gold embellishments. They're stunning, they're gorgeous, and little, so they're not too blingy. I am going to add stars to the inside parts of the snowflake too, just for even more bling, because why not? Oh, I just love that. That looks gorgeous. Okay, well, as promised, I will show you another card that I made with this die set. So this one was a purple, which is one of my favorite colors. Love blue, I love purple. Look at how pretty this embossing folder is just by itself. I was on FaceTime with my mom, and she was like, oh, that is just so pretty all by itself. And she's right, that is pretty all by itself. But we're going to make it even more pretty with the stitched snowflake. So here is my other one. I went ahead and put the bling on already and my sentiment, which is the stamp of the month. And I just love that stamp set, by the way. But I kept this one off of the project because I just wanted to mention another way to stick on stitched areas is with liquid glue. So I'm just going to put some liquid glue on the places where I think it might need it, just to kind of adhere it. And in case someone hasn't watched any of my stitching videos before, this is another way to put it on a card. I absolutely plan on making a stitched card with a white snowflake and a purple background. I just did not get time to do that for this video, but it'll probably be in one of my stitched update videos. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I try to have a monthly video where I just show you more stitching projects that I have made using dies that I have in my collection. Not necessarily anything brand new, but it would be like a new take on an old die. So if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe so you will not miss those videos. But they're kind of fun and people tend to like them, so I'm just gonna keep doing them. So there's that. And please forgive me, I was cleaning up my desk as I was finishing up this video and I forgot that there's these little inserts that go in the Snowflake. So I went ahead and added the purple ones, or the pink ones in the purple Snowflake, and that kind of matches the thread. And then I added the blue ones to go kind of behind the other Snowflake, and I glued those right down on the card base. And I am just really pleased with the way that both cards turned out. I think that they're just gorgeous. So adding that little piece in there definitely helps add a little extra oomph to the snowflakes, and it definitely beefs them up a little bit, which is just perfect. So anyway, back to the video. When this video goes up, I'll be coming back from vacation, and I hope to stitch my little heart out on vacation. So hopefully I have some goodies to show you for July. Well, we'll see. Anyway, here's my take on the stitched snowflake card front. It is just gorgeous. So let me know in the comments, what colors are you going to use? Maybe you'll do more traditional colors, or maybe some wacky colors like me. I don't know. Let me know in the comments though. And go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this in your future. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting. If you're gonna stitch, happy stitching. We'll see you next time. Bye.